Welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are back for another weekly news roundup, and we are going to go ahead and start out with just a few little housekeeping items. I am pretty sure next week we will not do a weekly live news roundup. Maybe I'll do another live show on top of it or whatever else, but what I have tentatively planned right now is I am holding a copy right here, and I'm going to be careful not to show anybody the cover. The proof, see, it even says really big on the back, proof of my new book. It is sitting right here. I did resubmit a few edits to it, but I am tentatively planning on launching that next Friday. By that time, I would like to have a PayPal established for all my content creation stuff, which means if you would like to support the channel, but you are a little leery of Patreon, like I sort of am, I will take that same PayPal link and put it on all my channels. So if you want to help support what we do, do that, because the more support I get, the better videos I can make and whatever else. Also, if you are on Patreon, every one of my patrons will get a free ebook copy, possibly a print copy. I have to figure out what are international shipping rates, etc., etc., etc. I'm just not quite sure. But I do have the book right here. I'm excited about this guy. Actually, this thing actually took me about, actually, was it only like 3 months? I literally started writing this at the end of June, and here is the printed copy of it. And the ebook is already ready to go. It's sitting in Amazon, waiting for me to push the button for the Amazon folks, which, by the way, it is on without DRM. But I will also be having that at other places.
Read this book, people. It rocks, and it's going to make you laugh.
And it is a Christian parody. It is a comedy book. And that is what we're going to do with it. So it will be fun. So here is what I'm going to do. For next week tentatively, and I will probably know this and have this figured out by like maybe Wednesday, and I'm going to start promoting it across both channels. The book was written entirely on Linux Peppermint. Outside of I did the cover design on my Linux Mint computer because I needed something better to do the graphics. So the book was all written on LibreOffice. It was all formatted for publishing on LibreOffice. The minor graphics were done on GIMP on Peppermint. The major graphics were done on Linux Mint on GIMP. The ebook was created on Calibri and on Sigil, and I'm going to show you how I did all of that as part of it. So that will be the Linux part. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take the next part, we're going to close down the Switch to Linux stream, and we're going to move over onto the Christian channel, and I will read excerpts from the book and take questions over there, and that will hopefully be the first live stream on the Christian channel, and I'm going to see if that actually works. And so we're going to kind of go into that. But here is the new book, and all done on Linux, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So we're going to do a switch to Linux on that. And actually, for you folks wanting to do a GIMP, I did most of the cover design was, I actually recorded, like the front cover, I did that before, but how to put everything together, how to grab your templates and all that, I actually recorded myself doing all of that. So probably in 2 weeks, we're going to have a GIMP video. It's like over an hour long, but we're going to have a GIMP video how to make a cover design for a book in the event you are wanting to write a book of some form or another. And so that way we are going to go ahead and do that. So I see that there are a bunch of comments already. So let's go over and jump a look over there and say hello to everybody. So go back to the top. Hello, Daniel. How's it going? Hello, Carbon Programmer. No hablo español or whatever language that is. I speak only English. I'm one of them people that, yeah, well, I mean, I've studied some other fun languages. Let's see. So we had a little bit of Cubes discussion there. Check out Cubes. You haven't checked out Cubes. If you're looking for a good installable operating system on a computer, it does need a little bit, probably a lot more resources. I would probably not run it under under 8 gig of RAM because it just takes a lot, especially if you're running a lot of VMs. But oh man, I love that operating system. It is pretty rocking. And I have some tutorials about how to do cubes. Just go to my channel, look up cubes, you'll see that. Let's see. Hello, Joey. How's it going there? Hello, Albert. Hello, James. Good evening to you as well. CGI Cat is back. Yes, you are back. He's now staring at me. All right. Even the owl turns in already. Hello, KO2610. Greetings, Tim. I'm pretty new at this Linux stuff so far. Love it. No sound. Uh-oh. Okay. Good. I'm like, woo. Let's see. A lot of people are giving me comments here. Hello, Dr. Rob. Okay. What is the book about? The book is a Christian parody of this other crappy book right here that I would have left well enough alone. I would have definitely left well enough alone, except a few other factors that I describe in the book and I'll talk about in the live stream. And I'll actually show you at least one of the covers. What I might do, because actually the source book that I made, this is a parody of another book. The book I made the parody of is actually a friend of mine's. I borrowed it in June. And I think she forgot I borrowed it. But anyway, that's it. Let's see. I will tell you more about what the book is on the actual release. Hey, TMWSEA.
Hello to you, sir.
Got a new to Linux as well. Love it. International shipping rates totally suck. Oh boy, don't tell me that. That's why I promised the ebook to everybody, because an email is free or a quick download link is free. For my patrons. But shipping them, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do shipping or not. It depends. It depends. Hey, Techno Bismol, how's it going there? Biggie Pseudo Linux might not be able to attend the live stream. We were going to have sleepover tonight, but he left an hour ago. Aw, I'm sorry, man. Love GIMP for free software, but they could not think of another name for it. Well, it's an acronym. It's GNU Image Manipulation Program. That's the name of it. The name of the Christian channel is Our Walk in Christ. I will go ahead and put a link to that in just a moment. So I have been I've been shooting for 2 videos a week over there right now. Which actually I've been, for some reason, if you put in just the whole thing, all of one word strung together, you get my videos, but not my channel. But if you separate it out, you should get my channel at the top. There we are. Okay, so I'm doing a very in-depth Bible study over there, and I do some just kind of daily walking things, and I'm going to be doing a little bit more over there when I get a chance. So I just went ahead and dropped the link in there for the Christian channel. I look books. Sweet. And I chose $9.99 as the print copy, $2.99 is the ebook copy on Amazon, but I'm going to be posting it also on my website. I'm not sure what I'm going to sell it for on my website personally. Okay, Anthony Lacrosse. Yep, there you go. Thanks, Techno Bismo. 326 language. 326 in various languages. There's no privacy on the web. Not much. But we can take some steps, and that's the thing. I was speaking Mandarin earlier, but it's done in Pinyin instead of... Oh, gotcha. Well, I will be telling everybody where to get the link and everything. It is not yet available. I could make it available, but I'm not going to make it available yet until we're ready. Actually, I can't make the print book available yet because I'm waiting on one more proof draft. There's a few things that I wanted to change in it. All right. Hello, Anna Rita. Next update. I did take my nice privacy-centric phone here, and I did connect it up. So this is now a phone with no Google services on the Verizon network, and it is set up nicely. The only thing I noticed is that the contacts, while the names transferred over, the phone numbers didn't. So I'm going to have to mess with K-address book and figure that part out. Let's see... Like to hear some Christian words. Yeah, check out that channel. I'm super Christian over there. This one here, it comes out every now and again. But how much does it cost to get a book printed and created? Okay, that is a fun question. When I did my first book, which was Testing and Temptations, through probably a more traditional self-publishing route, it actually cost me $1,400, I think. And then the price for me to buy my own book was exorbitantly high. So do not ever do that. This one is being done on the CreateSpace system, and since I have the technical know-how to make the cover design through GIMP and the technical know-how to do the interior book design, it cost me $0.0, just some time. CreateSpace will have a service where you can buy the kitty is at it again. He is testing for weaknesses in the organs. And you can buy the services, and I forget what the prices are, but I think it's like maybe at $400, starting at $400 for an interior design, and maybe starting at $200 for a cover design. I'm not sure. What? Yes. You already know where to kill me. Yes, you. This cute kitty over here is just kind of being crazy. Hey, Smeek, how's it going? Let's see. I guess no one else here can speak Mandarin or is learning. Not I. All right. What is one piece of software that is missing in my opinion? One piece of free software that is missing in my opinion. Let's see. One general, like, really more advanced, piece of software I think that is missing is, I would like a better, HTML editor, one very much like Dreamweaver, where I can have a, kind of like essentially like a preview panel on one side and code on the other, because navigating to the code portions I need to edit on simple page edits is a lot faster if I can just click on it. Mandarin oranges, yep. Nom. Yes, the cat is great. Yes, he is cute. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump over to the news, because that's what we're here for. I picked out security, privacy, technology. I have one article from business because I didn't know where else to put it, and I have one okay then. So we're going to jump in with the security news, if I can find my security news system. Which one do I use for security? I'll just go ahead and use I'll use my general for security. I need to build a security one. All right, here's my general. So first is just a brief update. This is more on the privacy end, but a brief update to that whole DNA thing that we kind of threw a ruckus at last week. If you don't remember or weren't here last week, the Baltimore Ravens decided they're going to team up with this company that does Origin, which does DNA test kits, and they're going to take these DNA test kits and have everybody tested and encourage them to download the apps. Everyone drops off their DNA sample with all of this private data connected to the app directly in this thing that just simply looked like a cardboard trash can. Well, two government agencies came in and said, no, we don't like this idea. And so they had to postpone it. The government actually did something useful. Let's not have DNA tests. Okay, now for those folks that are still on Windows and you are using the most commonly piece of free Windows software, CCleaner was hit by a major malware hack. So CCleaner, owned by Paraform, was purchased not too long ago by Avast, which is not a particularly good antivirus system, but it's one at least. It's an antivirus at least. But since they were bought up by them, there was some security loopholes apparently, and somebody got in to the system and released a version of CCleaner and both the desktop version and the cloud version that had malware installed that was signed by Avast, so it would not be picked up by any antivirus system. So what you pretty much have to do is uninstall it and install a newer version or update it, whatever. And so that's kind of the case with these guys. Why is my video not catching up? I was running into this problem yesterday. My browser is not catching up with everything. That's interesting. Let me jump over to here and see what you guys are seeing real quick. Yeah, I closed that window, and I closed that window, and it's not updating on my preview screen. Let me come back over here. Let me select a different one. Go back to this one. Hey, there we are. Okay, that's the website I'm looking at. Yeah, I was doing this the other day. I'm not sure what caused that, but anyway, happened. So pretty much, if you are running Paraform, check out their blog posts over here and make sure that you are not running the versions that have the spyware. And so here is some data numbers to look for. So just kind of be aware of that. Of course, they updated it. It appears as that this attack was a very targeted attack. Like it was very much directed towards some specific companies, and those companies were actually attached. Now, I thought this is the update post from like yesterday. It was really funny because down here they're like, let's see, we also recommend users run a quality antivirus product such as Avast Antivirus. Why? This malware was signed by Avast Antivirus's signature code. Avast Antivirus would not solve this problem. Stop promoting your own products, people. That guaranteed was put in there because some guy over there at Avast probably forced them to. All right. I think this is just another update. I think this is essentially the same thing I was just looking at. I just went to the other post. I'm not sure why I included that one twice. Next one. There's a new Apache bug. For whatever reason, this bug is actually an old one, first seen in 2014, but it really wasn't patched until this week. They're calling this options bleed, and basically what this means is that we are somebody can use a series of script codes into your web server and leak information out regarding the options setup, maybe passwords and things like that. The biggest place that this impacts is shared servers. So if you have a shared server website, this is something you might want to look into changing. But anyway, that's just something in the in there. So this is exciting. Coming to us from Motherboard. Yes, the brand new, totally awesome iPhone iOS 11. Turning off the Wi-Fi button and the Bluetooth button doesn't turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So in the event you don't know what I'm talking about, not that one. So if you come up and pull up your control screen like this, you have these buttons up here. And if I push this button here, it will turn off Wi-Fi, and this one will turn off Bluetooth because I'm still running a version of iOS when people were sane. No, all this button does in the control panel now, it just disables. It doesn't turn off the Wi-Fi. It just disconnects you from the current network. It doesn't turn off Bluetooth. It just disconnects the current Bluetooth items. Huh? Now, the purpose of doing that is, of switching that thing off, is to turn off Wi-Fi. So you still have to go through the settings and all that stuff to turn off Wi-Fi. But guess what? This is not a bug. It's a feature. Apple has lost their ever-loving mind. Between the iPhone 10, this crap in iOS 11, iPhone has lost its ever-loving mind. And that is why this is the last iPhone I'm ever going to have, at least as a phone. I might have one laying around for development purposes, but I will not be buying another iPhone to use as a phone. No. First, they're making it too difficult to jailbreak, so I'm not really all that excited about paying a Chinese hacker $30 to jailbreak my phone. That seems to be my options when, hey, guess what? I did everything I'd want to root a phone for with this Android, and I removed all Google services, and I have everything running through the Tor network, so yeah. I think I'll stick with Android for a while, at least until there's a good true Linux phone out there. So this is not a bug. This is a feature. And basically, it's like, what was their logic? I mean, their logic was something like, oh, we're just going to turn these off. Let's see. Not obvious, makes the user more uncomfortable. Turning off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi reduces your exposure to potential attacks, hardware, firmware, and software. It's good practice. In fact, that was one of those things, is that not too long ago, there was a big Bluetooth security hole. And if you had Bluetooth on and you walked around, you could very possibly be picked up by that. Now, and I'm possibly at risk because I actually use Bluetooth headsets to talk on phones, and I generally just leave my Bluetooth turned on. Now, on the Android, what I did is, I put in my status screen up at the top, I actually put the things that I need the most. I put my Wi-Fi, my sharing hotspot, my Bluetooth, sync, battery, and my flashlight. Whoa, flashlight. Right up in the top. And so I should, in theory, be able to turn it off a little bit easier, or just about the same, doing that on the new Android phone. And this is actually on my business line now, so we're going to test it over there, and if it works out really well, then eventually I might swap the phones around. I still need to verify that there's a few programs I still need to find, etc., etc. So, but anyway, that's a very big... This Nexus 5X is a huge, huge step towards privacy on a phone, and about that I am very happy. It's not Linux, but you know what? It's getting close. So yeah, turning off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi reduces your exposure to potential attacks to hardware, firmware, software. And the reality is people have been so used to swiping up and clicking the button. Why break a function that everyone was so used to? Why? The reason why? Because they want to be able to have those things turned on so that they can track your things and find various Wi-Fi systems. Because in reality, the default on these phones will automatically connect to Wi-Fi's, like some guy finding a lady of the night walking down the street downtown. And we don't need that kind of stuff, folks. We don't need that kind of stuff. You should not be connecting to any random free Wi-Fi you find. Because if you don't pay attention to what goes on, man, I could literally go to a coffee shop. I could take a computer, conveniently running something like Cubes, and I could set in a second wireless dongle, much like this, and I can have this wireless dongle, I can have the one wireless system connected to the Wi-Fi, I can have this dongle set up, pushing out a broadcast network that says Starbucks, or name whatever coffee shop I have to be in, free Wi-Fi, and 50% of the people are going to connect to this guy, especially if I make it easier to connect to. And then I will be able to monitor everything that they are doing by simply installing Wireshark on that computer, sitting back, sipping my latte, and stealing all your data. Don't access free Wi-Fi networks unless you absolutely have to. And only then use a VPN. That's the one of those cases to use a VPN. That's why, by the way, I have a decent phone with decent Wi-Fi sharing, because when I'm out at a coffee shop, guess what? It's my phone's Wi-Fi I'm using, not the coffee shop's Wi-Fi. That's the way you do it. So this is absolutely stupid. This is yet another line of stupidity that Apple has done. And FYI, it still does not have a headphone jack, but you know. Mentioning both Bluetooth and... Oh, this is exciting. It's worth mentioning both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi will become active again when you toggle them off at 5 a.m. local time, according to Apple's documentation. It's unclear why, but just so you know. My brain is melting. Apple has lost their ever-loving mind. And here's the Apple fanboys. Yee! Have my 10 Benjamin Franklins for this awesome new super tracking spy phone that turns on Wi-Fi. You've got to be brain dead if you're still using Apple stuff. Beyond this, I must be brain dead. I'm still using some Apple stuff. But the reality is, man, why would you pay $1,000, starting at $1,000, for a phone that tracks 10,000 biometric points on your face? You can't turn off the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth easily. It turns back on when you do have it off. What in the world are these idiots doing over there in Apple? Have they been snorting mercury? This is crazy. Let's have a look at some comments, shall we? I gotta let this amazingness of Apple whiff off of me. Jeez. So it costs $400 for them to create and fully finish a book, including the actual book and putting the text onto the book. Okay, so no, it'd be closer to like $600, because like $400's, I think starting at $400, and I didn't pay that much attention to the pricing because I knew I wasn't going to do it. But I think it's starting at $400. When you do a book, you have, hold on, let me grab a book I can show you. Okay. So this is my other one. So you have a book which contains one PDF, which is the front, the binding, and the back. So you get one PDF file with that. And then you have the inside. So remember that you open up a book and read a book, you have a title, you have, whatever your stuff is up there. You might have some quotes and things like that. All of this stuff, you have to format and send this to the printer right. So it usually costs, starting at around $400 or so, to format a book that you have written like this. And then it would usually, I think, starts around $200 to do the full cover design. So I already know how to do cover design, and I already know how to format the interior of a book, and so I didn't have to pay for any of that. And so for me, it didn't cost anything, just the time to do it. If you either didn't have the time, had a lot of money, didn't have a lot of time, or you don't know what you're doing, it'd probably start around $600 or so would be what it is. And I can say I like the printing. This was done at that more traditional company, which I think the print quality on this seems a little higher than this new one. I think, though, part of that is that this is a glossy covered book. The other one's a matte book. But I went with matte for that one because I literally duplicated the styles, the fonts, the colors, everything from the original book. In fact, it's startling how amazingly similar they look. But, parody's legal, so that's all I did. All right. You can try a website called Canvas. It's good for simple design. I replaced Photoshop for GIMP and Canva. Okay. And I guess you buy the finished book in bulk. Well, first I set up distribution channels, so you'll be able to buy it on any nationality of Amazon. So Amazon.com, Amazon.in, Amazon.uk, Amazon.eu, whatever. So you can buy it through there. It's also through the Create Space store. They have a store, and I'm also using the expanded distribution. So in theory, you should be able to, it'll take like 6 weeks, but in theory, you should be able to go to Barnes & Noble and order a copy there. Now, the stores probably wouldn't buy it and stock it on the shelves because they don't generally do that with self-published books, but you can go to the store and order it. Because I'm releasing it on those. I'm also releasing it on a few digital things. One of those is over in the UK, so anybody in EU, you might want to go over there. And I'll release all those details when I have everything finalized. I'm basically putting the book out in hundreds of different sales channels. Of course, the best place to buy it is directly from me because I'll sign it for you and I'll get you the price. Of course, I have to charge the shipping to ship it out as well, but I'll probably keep the price about the same on my site. Maybe I might knock off 50 cents. So that's about that. Save any of the book questions for next week, and I'll answer. I'll do a whole thing on self-publishing next week. All right. Solve the BIOS thing. Great. Recommend an antivirus. I haven't used antivirus for a long time, honestly. I recommend a good firewall. GIMP is great if you make it out. Okay. Gotta use BleachBit in Linux. Yep. CCleaner is useless software. Actually, I run CCleaner on my Windows computer. I just don't let the thing automate. Okay, here's what caused people to have issues on the CCleaner. Automatic updates. And when you install it, it's like, oh, turn on automatic updates. You never turn on automatic updates for stuff. You want to wait, see what the software does. I don't update the software. There's no reason to update the software. My computer is behind a rock-solid firewall, okay? Nothing's getting into it that isn't going to be catastrophic. If it's catastrophic, I'm wiping the system and I have my data safe. If it's not catastrophic, it ain't getting through my firewall. There is no reason I need to update CCleaner. It is not an internet-based program. It just sits on the hard drive, And some people may disagree with that, but the reality is that's all it is. I do not have automatic updates installed, so guess what? It ain't a problem. And every time the stupid thing wants to say, there's an update, install it, I'm going to say no. Use advanced system care instead. Government test DNA for natural selection, I think. Are you a fan of UBS Sports? And what do you think of them making Ubuntu Touch? I really don't know much about the company. I am very much behind them doing Ubuntu Touch because we need more of those programs out there. And I was very happy to see that they've even expanded their list of devices while Plasma Mobile decreased their list of devices. In fact, I originally got the Nexus 5X because it's one of the two devices that Plasma Mobile works on. The problem is you can't get Plasma Mobile working on anything greater than Android 7 or greater. You can't do it. So you have to be stuck with an older version, which, there's a lot of security bugs that were fixed since then that aren't necessarily being as looked at in Marshmallow as they are in Nougat. So that's actually why I went with Lineage OS instead of Plasma Mobile, is because Lineage OS is up to date. Plasma Mobile is not, and Plasma Mobile seems to be instilled. Now, I did hear today, I've not confirmed it, but I did hear today that UB Ports has also teamed up with Librem, with the Librem 5 phone from Purism. So Purism is teaming up with both UB Ports and with Plasma Mobile to have more options for the phone. So when the Librem 5 phone comes out, you should be able to get Ubuntu, you should be able to get GNOME, and you should be able to get KDE on it. That's actually pretty cool. That's getting to be a neat project. Did you hear about robotic assistants known by Buddy by Blue Frog Electronics? No, I have not. Good good night. Yes. See you later, man. My friend, he said he was excited to get the new iPhone. I just looked and said delete my number. I don't know if you need to stop being friends with somebody over it, but, you know, I like my Chinese cheap phone. Thank you very much. Let's make sure it's not one of the ones that was embedding spyware in the firmware. Just double check that. Not a bug, but a feature. Yep, Apple always makes me laugh. Yep. Yeah, the Librem 5 phone. I'm moving towards the direction of saying, okay, yeah, maybe we need it. Might be too limited, but maybe we need it, you know? We need Librem 5 phone yesterday. I don't like iPhone, prefer my Howie. Yeah, the Howie brand, though, is the one that had the spyware embedded. So double check, make sure your version is not one of those. Apple fans are so dedicated, it's like a religion. The Apple stores are like temples and the devices, they're idols. It is! And that's how they can get away with selling the crappiest phone they've ever produced for $1,000 at starting price. That's exactly how. They're a cult. Buy! Yes, my lord! Yes, my lord, I will buy! Hey, Mark, how's it going? Great to see you jumped on. Hey, Harold Cruz, what can be done to make Nexus 5 more secure? Okay, Harold, I did 2 videos this week. Now, mine's the Nexus 5X. To clarify, a Nexus 5 is a GSM-only phone. A Nexus 5X has both chipsets. So the Nexus 5 does not work on my network. Nexus 5X should work on every network there is. I'm pretty sure. At least this one here will work on any American network. So I can take this to Verizon. If they make me mad, I can take it to AT&T. And that's another reason I bought it. Because this guy here, this iPhone, I'm locked into Verizon. Because there's no other carriers that have CDMA. Except there's smaller companies that piggyback on Verizon. This one here, if Verizon makes me mad, I don't even have to switch phones. I pop out the SIM card and pop out the SIM card and pop in one from the new things. So what I did for this is I installed Lineage OS, and then I used ADB root. I edited the host file, which is the only thing I'd ever want to do with a rooted phone. And then I actually added Orbot and configured it so that the browsers and any system services are actually routing through the Tor network. I'm letting emails and things like that go through ClearNet. So that's kind of what you do to make it more secure. That's more privacy-centric. More secure, you got to keep up with the security updates. More privacy-centric, that's kind of what I was doing. Security support by SE Linux is just cool. Yeah, I think there's some issues with SE Linux. I don't know for sure, but this phone actually has SE Linux, whether you think it's a government backdoor or a good thing to have. If I go down to the bottom, SE Linux enforcing. Booyah. I'm not sure if that's part of the Android system or if that's part of Lineage OS. I have no idea, but in fact, I'm guessing it's Lineage OS because it's the very bottom thing. We need Librem 5 because then Linux will be taken a lot more seriously as a platform. I agree. I think so. Got your notifications always come through on the phone before PC. Huh. Whoa. Free Wi-Fi is just bait for hackers to use collect data. Yep. Someone have a gun? Got it. Don't bust into my office. Why would anyone buy an overpriced emoji machine? Oh, yeah. Come on, man. It's animojis. I guess being crap face brings a whole new term. Oh! Yes, there is an animated talking poo that you can have on your new iPhone. Just what we all needed, you know. brain melting, more like frying it. Can't wait to sort it out and get rid of, kind of block the back door. Okay. Apple should be an example of what not to do as tech companies. And the thing is that people haven't realized that they're not innovating anymore. In fact, there are all these brand new innovations or things Samsung's been doing. Like Samsung is the new innovator. And I'm not a big fan of Samsung, but at least they're innovating. Apple's just borrowing for what Samsung has done. Use my pay internet in the phone. Don't use free Wi-Fi and have VPN on Opera. Cool. There you go. I won't buy a router without DDWRT or some other type of Linux on it. My router became way faster after flashing. Yeah, that's something I was thinking about doing, but then I got the pfSense system, which is mostly configured. I still have some testing to do with it, but I have the pfSense router I'm working with eventually, which I really, really need to jump back into. It's just writing this book took a lot out of you. When you push out a full book from concept to final design in 3 months or less, it takes a lot out of you. Apple says it just works. No, it doesn't. Apple is esoteric. A bite taken out of Apple, of the Apple secrets hidden in plain sight. Yep. Hey, how's it going there? Is your new book DRM free? Yes. In fact, this is hilarious because Amazon, I didn't even know this until I went to do this, but Amazon, for the ebook, of course, the papers, there's no DRM, but yeah, for the ebook, you can select in there whether your book is encoded with DRM or is DRM free. There is if you are familiar with the big thing they're pushing now where you can buy like a Kindle subscription fee for like $10 a month. And then basically you get paid for, you get paid a certain amount based on the number of pages somebody reads. To participate in that program, your book has to be locked by DRM and it has to be exclusive to Amazon. I was like, nope. Because guess what? I'm selling it on my own site and there's other channels I'm going to sell the ebook on as well. I am not locking my ebook onto Amazon on a DRM model because that is absolutely horrible. I'm trying to teach people to not over rely on it. Now, if you got a Kindle and you use Amazon, it's available. That's what we should do. But if you do have that, and you're like, okay, this is kind of creepy, I'm getting away because I'm getting scared of all this DRM crap, then you know what? You can get that book off of your tablet with some internet searches, and it will work and convert itself just fine in Calibri because it is DRM free. And if you can't get it to work, send me an email with a copy of your receipt from Amazon, and I will email you an EPUB version. Easy enough. But yes, it is DRM free. Okay, I'd rather buy Microsoft products than Apple products. I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather buy Apple, honestly. Almost. I don't know, though. That was an opinion I had a while back. Heard of people camping outside stores for days buy new Apple product? Yes, indeed. Why does everyone copy Apple, even though they make the worst value? The funny thing is, Samsung was doing all the innovation, and then Apple's like, we're going to be innovative. We're removing your headphone jack. That's not innovation. Guess what? Shocking. Headphone jack! Yeah, baby! But you know what? Now people are starting to copy the stupidity of removing the headphone jack. So you can always have ready access to insecure Bluetooth connections. And by the way, if you didn't know, I mean, Bluetooth is a rather insecure protocol. The only thing that makes it not like super dangerous is how short wave it is, you know. But 30 feet, man, if you had a Bluetooth adapter, you could walk outside the realm of my office, and I guess any of my phones would be accessible. I only have one computer with Bluetooth capabilities, and I actually have it disabled in the firmware, so. All right, Apple is a long history from the great three generation, but a good fruit. Adam and Eve, Sir Isaac Newton, and Apple. Oh boy. Well, guess what the Apple want? I like my password. Okay. Sure, most logos are telling us something. Companies keep copying Apple despite their stupidity and terrible designs. My nice tech bismo. Hey, Fatal, how's it going? Oh, really? Did it again. Okay, why can't companies be original? And that's the thing, back in the day, an Apple had a very distinct look and a Windows had a very distinct look. Now, I guess that's a bad example because both of those do have very distinct looks still today. But across the platforms on your devices and phones, and it's getting that way with websites, everything is starting to look the same. And it's like, and that's a problem because I don't want everything to look the same, right? I don't want a platform where it's like, okay, I choose your crappy platform or your crappy platform, but I'm locked into it because that's where I bought all my non-transferable media. That's a bad thing there. But yeah, I mean, I would like it if everyone was original. Like the thing that was cool about the Windows Phone is it was original. It was cool. It was fresh, and I loved the style of it. It was buggy as all get out. But I loved the Windows Phone. I had a Windows Phone on my account for, I don't know, like a year or something. Oh, I loved that phone. As far as the style, the live tiles were great. How the apps managed was great. And it was different. You didn't have the ability like on Apple, of course, they still kind of suck the logos and stuff just right from the very top. But, on an Android, I can do whatever. I have weather over here. I have a clock there. You can't really see it because of my background there. But, I can put my apps wherever I want my apps to be, including multiple screens, whatever else. I can do a lot of fun stuff like that on the Android. I really liked, though, how Windows Phone did that. They were innovative. But, of course, that died, and then BlackBerry comes up with theirs, and theirs was also innovative, and that died, and now we're stuck with two platforms that are nearly identical. I don't know. Do you know if you would be able to purchase a phone with Linux OS pre-installed like the Libre phone? Well, the Libre phone, I think, is the only one I know of off the top they're talking about the ability, which isn't even out yet. Ubuntu had them, but they are no longer selling those, I don't believe. You might still be able to find a third-party old Ubuntu touch phone. You might still be able to find them. But Librem 5, realize the Librem 5 isn't even due to be out until 2019. So, Linux is a cult in its own way. Yes, it is. But at least I can betray the dark side. I got an Apple computer right over here. I have a Crapintosh. Or is it a Crapintrash? Or is it a Macintrash? I don't know. And I got a Windows computer over there. It's Windows 7, and down here in this drawer I got a Windows 10 computer that's never plugged in. But in the event I need a Windows 10 computer, I got one. I'm not opposed to using a Windows computer when that can do a better job necessarily. I just want people to know more about the operating systems that are available and realize that for the average computer user, Linux will do absolutely everything you need it to do. Let's see. Apple's so materialistic item. I made a few harsh comments about this latest phone last night that emotion got the better of me. Love when Tom has everything in reach in his office. Yep. Okay. Well, YouTube chat is still using blobs. Uh-oh. Samsung even makes the parts for iPhones. That's funny. That'd be really hilarious if they put in a little thing in the chip that when you boot it up, it said Samsung. SE Linux original authors are NSA and Red Hat, Rehel. The thing is that NSA even had a lot to do with Tor, but it's the only system they can't crack. So just because they're behind it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to look at it and go, that's bad tech. Because I got news for you. NSA was also behind the GPS. So I mean, I don't use that as NSA's involved. Let's leave it behind. I want to be a little bit more intelligent than that, but yeah, it's worthy of looking to. What do you think would happen if the IT world, if and when quantum computers get serious? P.S. I know companies already have started using them to test them. I don't know enough about quantum computers to answer that question. I mean, I can probably tell you more about quantum physics, and I don't want to do that. When companies do not have an SD card slot for expandable storage in their battery, just hate it because Apple is doing it does not mean... Yeah, and that's this one here. I don't believe that the Nexus 5X has expandable USB or expandable SD card. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but this one's actually 32 gig, and my iPhone I think is only 16 gig, and I don't even come close to using a fraction of that. So size isn't a big deal for me because I don't store pictures and stuff on my phone. My phone is very transient. When pictures come on, within a week they're off in my backup folders because I'm just not losing data because of losing my phone. Apple did not innovate on taking out the jack. They copied another. Oh, really? They did copy that? Okay. That's right. I think I did hear something about that. Funny how no one cares about smartphones or wireless charging until Apple did it. Actually, I think they did it because a lot of people were complaining that iPhone 7 didn't have wireless charging when other phones in the market did. And that was actually a big sore spot for them. Okay, I hate mobile phones. I wouldn't miss mine at all. Yeah. I can probably create more original web design than Apple and I don't even know how to program. Probably. Yeah, they're pretty crappy. I'd like to have Arch on my phone. That would be sweet. Alright, see you, Technobismal. My chemistry teacher's website looks more original than Apple's. That's kind of scary. People hate it when their mobile devices don't have SD cards, but they hate it when Nintendo Switch has SD card expansion. Why? See, Linux is just awesome as App Armor, whether UFW is a little one. All right, let's go ahead and jump back over. We're going to jump over to privacy news. So here we got privacy news. We're going to start with, this ISP bill, ISP privacy bill that California was trying to do. Yeah, as predicted, it's dead in the water. They came up and all the big tech companies were like, yeah, we want to collect data from everybody. So it died. It pretty much showed up and died. So this is, of course, when the government came down and killed internet, the ISP privacy rules earlier this year. California jumped up and said, we want to hold on to ISP privacy laws. And that didn't last too long. And, a big bunch of tech companies got over and, you can't do that. So I don't know, I guess we can chalk this up to politicians are brain dead because every argument the ISPs were throwing at them was they were ridiculously stupid. Let me find those again. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the EFF had something on them. No, there was some stuff about it. I think I did them last week, but yeah, that's done. So privacy's done. Oh, this is exciting. Or not. So Hinge, apparently this is a dating site. I don't know. Apparently it's a dating site, but now they allow your friends to play matchup because they said apparently they did market research. I don't know how they figured this out, but apparently they did market research and found out that a lot of people would just hand their phone over to their buddy, and their buddy would be sitting there going, who's the ugliest chick on here, and then would try and hook people up. Well, now the app allows you to play matchmaker by linking your account with your friend's account, so then your friend can hook you up with dates on your behalf. And if you have a friend, apparently, I need to get more information on this one, but apparently if you have friends on Facebook and they're not on here, you can invite them to Matchmaker. See, this is a reason I don't like Facebook, because I do not authorize my friend who has lost his ever-loving mind to send Matchmaker my information about that, and then I'm going to be bothered by Matchmaker for the end of time over this crap. So yeah, apparently now you can have your friend hook you up with matches through their new Matchmaker app that will help you combine your friends together. Ooh, look at this. This is like, oh my golly. That's like a sperm fertilizing an egg. Look at that. They're coming together and getting that embryonic shell around it. How exciting. All right, well, enough of that. Yeah, this is another exciting app. This is guys, this is why I don't have Google services on here, and I don't think I'm going to miss them, because once I get my apps installed, I really don't want to install anything else. I do not want to install these other extra apps. So this one here, this is called Pack. Of course, they closed down, went out of business, and got a $1.5 million fine for this. This is exciting. So apparently this was an add-on to like MyFitnessPal, which is a really dumb app. And apparently if basically you'd install this app and you'd link it to your credit card number or PayPal account, and then the thing would push you your calorie consumption, your exercise things, and then you'd have to check into the app and report what you did. And if you didn't check into the app, it would charge you. But if you did check into the app, it would take the pool of people who were charged and it would pay you. So it would pay you if you worked out and ate right, and it would charge you if you didn't. And of course, it's tracking everything that you're doing, apparently. So, you got to have it in your pocket when you're running so it can verify you're running when you're saying it's running. That's creepy. Creepy. And then you have to feed it all this information. And, well, apparently what happened is very difficult to opt out. It would opt people back in automatically. It was very difficult to completely delete the thing. And basically their system was charging a whole lot of people who had already opted out. So they ended up getting caught because Visa started to deny chargeback requests for the company. They basically shut down the company's credit card processing system because they said, you guys have an exorbitant amount of chargebacks. And so I'm just still wondering, why in the world would you give all of this information to this? But anyway, they were end up hitting with $1.5 million fine about this. $500,000 has been suspended because, it's kind of crazy. So, be careful of the app. These apps spy on you. All of these apps spy on you. They spy on you. Okay, if someone's giving you a free, cool new app, it's spying on you. That's why you got to be careful. Use the free open source stuff that are built by the community of geeks. And be careful of all these apps. Because, and it's not like we're going to look at another app here shortly. But before we do that, this one here, somebody's lost their ever-loving mind. From Walmart, the future could mean delivery straight into your refrigerator. Okay, here's how this works. Basically, you have your house set up in smart devices. By the way, this is funny. I was in Wegmans the other day. Wegmans is now selling Amazon Alexas or Echoes or whatever the world they are. Just a side shoot. I had nothing else to say about that. It's just I'm avoiding that aisle now in Amazon or in Walmart or Wegmans, whatever it is. Wegmans, because I don't want to risk saying something near an Alexa lest it tracks everything I do. But anyway, the concept is built around the smart house, so presumably Walmart's going to start pushing these smart house things. So you have a smart lock, which of course we know can very easily brick and cause all sorts of other problems and be hacked, etc., etc. You have a smart lock, and then you have security cameras. And then what happens is you go to Walmart.com and order your groceries. My brain fell out of my head. And then some random dude shows up who's from a delivery service, apparently. Where's the delivery service from? It's like Viber or something. I don't think they listed it here. Deliv. So this Deliv associate who's affiliated with Walmart, I wonder if Walmart corporate knows the type of weirdos they have working in their store. I thought it was really lame, the thing that they were trying to do to have random Walmart employees. Oh, you're going home, Bob? Here, drop this off. It's kind of in your direction. I don't want random Walmart employees knowing where I live. All right. So this Deliv guy will show up at your house, and then you will give him a one-time access code because you're not home, and then you will get a text message, and then the door will unlock for the Walmart associate who will walk into your house with nobody home and stock your refrigerator and leave, and the door will lock behind you, and you'll get a quick notice that your door is now locked again. No. This is your brain. This is your brain on Walmart stupidity. Yeah. Yeah, I want random Walmart employees to come on over and come in my house and stock my refrigerator for me. We've lost our ever-loving mind, folks. We've lost our mind. We've lost it. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into some comments. Notice this whole web design of a light background. Okay. So we'll get the Librem Q1 2019. And I don't even know if they've... I mean, they weren't even close to their goal last time I looked, and they only had a few days left. I don't know. What's their goal look like? And I guess we can go ahead and check, can't we? Okay, they have 30 days left to go. They are at 41.95%. So that's kind of it. So yeah, Librem phone is hopefully will they reach their goal, but I don't know. I wonder whether there will be websites that use a dark or I wonder when there will be websites that use a dark or colorful UI. Some websites do. Like I have a dark UI. I have a kind of split dark and light UI for my Linux site. My main business site at westernmtnweb.com is actually black. Well, it's dark gray, really. Might be impossible to prevent certain type of trackers now because they might use stuff that's actually part of the page to track you. But a lot of those are known and blockable in the host file. But yes, you are right. There are a lot of things in a page that can track you. JavaScript is one of them, but most sites don't work without JavaScript. Whole solid background was started from a Snapchat, I heard. How do websites bypass the built-in pop-up blocker when I use an extension pop-up to get through? They are, what they use is CSS3 because you can set it to time and then they'll use a JavaScript queue. The thing is that a pop-up blocker only blocks new web pages from popping up. It does not block an element from the page. And so you can code a JavaScript thing to call to basically put they call it like a masking layer over the site, disabling the site, and then give you another page element laying on top of it. So that's how they do it. But because it's a pop-up on its own page, it does not ever register as a pop-up. All a pop-up blocker blocks is a site that pops up other pages. So the old JavaScript alert boxes would be blocked by a pop-up because technically that's a separate page. So that's how they do it. Facebook can burn for all I care. Yeah, me too. Time to find ways to protect my privacy through different methods. Host file, onions, and ad blockers. I prefer the host file method. I think that works the best. And the problem with using an ad blockers and things like that is that only your blocker, only your computer will get around it. But if you block something on your host file, nothing can get to it, including programs or anything else. Does anyone else use Facebook because of family or someone on your friends list use it? I have a Facebook account. I don't use it. Actually, my Christian channel though actually posts to my author page because when you write a book with your author name, how exciting! Facebook does a very great public service to you and creates for you a Facebook page. And despite I wanted my Facebook page for my writing stuff to match my website, which is my brand, which is Our Walk in Christ, no, I'm forced to have Thomas Morosky, PhD, which I hate, but I can't change it because Facebook is a 9 million pound gorilla that probably needs to get a healthy dose of poison. But, so I actually do post my videos, do get cross-posted over there, and it's kind of a test for me just because that was set up a long time ago. But I do have one or two friends that do not have consistent phone numbers that I do use Facebook to keep in contact with, but really that generally means I might go over there once a month and see if there's messages. Let's see, I don't trust any of these companies, especially Facebook. Yeah, I don't trust Facebook at all. We catch up with Big Daddy's Friday night. I might, actually. I might go ahead and do that as I'm doing some other stuff around the house. I might turn it on and I might even log in. It's going to depend. I don't know. Probably. Only social media uses YouTube. Yep, that's the only one I use consistently. I've been trying to do more stuff on Patreon. I'm a little leery of Patreon, but I've still been trying to do more stuff on Patreon. I've gotten another patron over the months, and so I would like to keep that built up and have something going. I'm just not a guy that gets on and tries to do a lot of posts. And actually, I hate Patreon's page. Oh, their page is so ugly and hard to use. Apple and Google works in favor of marketers. Yes, they do. What gives access to my house? A stranger. Yeah. And someone is actually going to think it's a good idea. Yeah. Where's the fire? I left the matches in the other room. Love the idea of some random person. Yeah, especially a Walmart guy. Yeah. It's just getting crazy. What person at Walmart submitted this idea to actually agreed to it? I have no idea. It takes me 20 minutes to stock the fridge. Yeah. When you get to that point that you have to have a Walmart employee come to your house and deliver and go into your refrigerator and pack your stuff, you are either too busy or you are too lazy. Seeing how freeing Linux is, I can imagine all the marketers, trackers, etc. hating Linux for its ability to block them. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of cool Linux distros like Peppermint has a built-in ad blocker that updates itself regularly. Absolutely. Love it. Have you looked at Swift Notes for the phone? No. I'm going to write that down because I am definitely looking for a better note application. I do not want to write it down on that page. That's a running log for something. Okay, Swift Notes. I will look that one up. Cool. Yeah, and I'm still looking for a map. Somebody told me another one. Is it like Wise Maps or something? Somebody gave me a map suggestion to look at. I didn't write it down yet. Okay. Every time I go to Walmart, I always question most employees' IQs. And the scary thing is, like, Walmart, like, they're even now pushing credit cards. Ugh. We, the open source community, also despise marketers and trackers as well. Floss versus Foss. YouTube attempts cross-site scripting quite often. Yep. GNU.org, philosophy, Foss, and Floss. Cool. I use Facebook like a champ. No. Okay. Think I'm paranoid, but I can see advertisers. Well, Tim, you use Facebook as a marketer, as a business guy, not as a personal. Snap! This is what I ate today. Snap! Look at what my 2-year-old finally did in the toilet today. I kid you not. That was the day I stopped using Facebook on a regular basis. Some person on my friends list was so excited their child used the potty for the first time, they took a picture of the turd floating in the water and posted it on Facebook. I was done. Is that a Baby Ruth bar there? All right. I think I'm paranoid, but I can see advertisers using full-on tracking software to track what users are doing on their local machine. Yeah, absolutely. Are you the brother of Tom? Yes. I have a feeling that sooner or later using Linux isn't going to protect you from the wide hackers. Older brother. And eventually, I'm going to get him over there to Linux. I think I got... Tim, are you still playing with Blender instead of 3ds Max? Because of 3ds Max's stupid new subscription model, or what? Tomboy works for me. Tomboy works for me. Know any better one? Oh, Tomboy Maps or Notes? I'll look it up. Of course, I gotta write it legibly on my notes. I will look at that. Okay. Try Bluefish. Wait. I use Bluefish Editor on Linux for HTML. Maps and GPS navigation. OSM and that's the one I'm using right now. I like parts of it. There's parts of it I really like. There's parts of it that I find are a little bit over the top. I kind of want something like Google Maps or Apple Maps, something like that, where I can easily flip it on and it'll go to the map. Now, the good news, though, about this is I can use it without data, and with the GPS trackers, I can literally use the OSM map as a field GPS because it's not dependent on an internet connection for the maps, and Google and Apple is. Really can't find a good ad blocker for non-rooted Android. Depending on your version of Android, you might be able to do a simple root by ADB. I know that's what I did on mine. Okay, so you have me there, but I am an artist, so I can draw mustaches on kids' poop pics and send them back. Well, I wouldn't waste my time, but I gotcha. Devices and apps should not own you. Correct. Blender is rising, right? It's getting more difficult to keep using your apps and have root at the same time because it's getting harder to hide a modified device. That's why, like, I don't really want to root the phone. So no, not on Blender yet. I think I'm going to go for Moto because I absolutely hate Blender's UI and Moto's fairly cheap. Oh, okay. Well, that works. Yeah. And Tim's a game developer, so he needs more robustiness. So that's it. Tim, go ahead and just do a shameless plug for Red Falcon. Oh, actually, you can't. Ha, I can. You can't. I can. There we go. Shameless plug for Red Falcon Run. This is Tim's flagship game right now. So, all right, let's jump on over to our tech news. I'm just going to go ahead and use my evil tech because I really like the Terminator. All right, so no, I don't want to go that one. This one over here. DRM5 HTML5 DRM finally makes it as an official W3C recommendation. All I have to say about this stuff is this is absolutely stupid. It's completely against what the internet is supposed to be. WC3 has completely dropped the ball, and watch Brian Lunduke's videos on this because he goes into this in far detail. He was actually at the press releases. They actually, the W3C actually asked Brian Lunduke to revise the article that he wrote. He kindly said, no, I'm not revising my article. What I said was true. So, let's see. Let's see. So pretty much what happened is they have embedded these things. And the problem with DRM, of course, and on the web is that it locks certain content for certain regions. And we can't do that. That is completely against not only what the internet is supposed to be, but for what the W3C is supposed to even stand for. But all this is just, this thing was bought by Netflix and other big companies. So watch Brian Lunduke's stuff on this for a follow-up. I'm not going to go into any more detail because he just did such a great job on his stuff on that. All right, this is exciting. Oh, yes, now you can save your favorites. I don't want to save my favorites. Thank you very much. So this is over in the UK. The licensing, transportation licensing system in London decided to kick Uber out. No, we're done with you. Why? Well, their approach to reporting serious criminal offenses. Maybe they should have said the sheer number of Uber drivers that seem to be rapists. I don't know. At least in the States. How to approach his medical certificates because, you know, there's that whole issue where the guy walking around with somebody's confidential HIPAA records. Its approach to how enhanced disclosures and barring devices checks are obtained. And its approach to exploring the use of Greyball in London. Yeah, we're not using it in London. We never tried to. Yeah, the fact you try to use it anywhere tells us how slimy of a company you are. So no, go die, Uber. Don't forget, people. If you happen to, every time you happen to call an Uber, a poor kitty like this gets clubbed. You don't want a kitty like this get clubbed, do you? So don't call an Uber. But anyway, so basically their license expires September 30th. Uber has within 21 days to submit an appeal. They have finally decided that, or they have said that, yes, they're definitely going to appeal this and how bad London is and blah, blah, blah. So many people are going to be out of work. Yeah, so many people are going to lose out on their fraction of minimum wage employment over the stupidity of Uber. You know, I'm not necessarily opposed to a company like Uber. Just let Uber die. They are an unscrupulous, jerky company. Let them die. They're not too big to fail. We need to get rid of this too big to fail concept. All right, this is exciting. This is tech. It could very easily also go under privacy. So Target is now doing some more fun stuff. Like, Target's new branding, by the way, is stupid. Like, their name is not anywhere over here, but of course you know it's Target because of the bullseye logo. But anyway, Now they are launching out a brand new app that is basically a GPS for the store. It uses beacon and Bluetooth technology. When you're in the store, it will pop up a map of the store you happen to be in, and it will guide you around. It will give you sales and, of course, the coupons and the deals, because that's all the thing is. And so pretty much you're like, this thing is like a GPS for the store. This is going to help you do your shopping and all this. You can search for products and it'll give you a map to the store. I'm just like, okay, this is insane. So here's his video. You can go watch Mike McNamara, whatever his name is, talk about it. This is awesome. Don't miss out on the latest Target news and behind the scenes. Subscribe. So I just decided to go ahead and see just what does this app look like. So Target now with Cartwheel to get some good ads. Yeah, look at this. I can get all this stuff. So they can track pretty much everything else that you do. So of course I love going down here and view the permission details. Precise location, obviously, because it's a map of the store. It needs to modify USB, modify or delete the contents of your USB storage, read your storage, take pictures and videos, view the Wi-Fi connections, send and receive data from the internet, view network connections, pair with Bluetooth devices, access Bluetooth settings, control the flashlight, full network access, run it startup. Why do I need this Target app to run it startup? It seems like if you are such a person that would use such a silly app, you'd at least have it on your phone and you'd activate it when you walk in the store. But no, running at startup means it's constantly monitoring what you're doing and where you're going. Control vibration, prevent the device from sleeping, and read Google Services configuration. Yeah, I just really don't need it. Wow, a lot of people are giving this terrible app won't let me return to the Target app after logging in. Is Target insane? Have you systematically made it increasingly difficult to use? Since the latest update, I can successfully sign out, but the browser won't return. Okay, the app freezes. Apparently their new app was developed by the same people that made the new Skype app. It gets all 1 stars. Oh boy. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Well, Amazon's working on some smart glasses because apparently Google glasses were so successful. So, yeah, Amazon has some smart glasses. So basically, they would be able to access all your Alexa stuff. They can do some camera feed. Also, apparently, Amazon is going to be starting to push more of your at-home security type cameras. All Wi-Fi IoT devices, so they're going to be perfectly secured. We just stop with the IoT. Do we really need... I'm going to stop referring to them as botnets. I'm going to start referring to them as Skynets, okay? Do we really need a bunch of Amazon Skynets perpetually watching everything going on? And then apparently, though, with these new Amazon glasses, they will put the feed to whatever your security camera is in the bottom. So anytime you put on your glasses, you can see a perpetual feed of whatever your camera's watching. So you can watch, make sure that that Walmart employee is not stealing anything or going through your medicine cabinets. Most of them do seem to look like druggies. But anyway, it's different than glass. And how's it different? Let's see. Sales of the gadget. Let's see. Amazon appears to be taking a different approach. Sources notes the wearable will likely not have a screen like the glass. So the glasses aren't the only new device. The company's reported working on security cameras. The new camera will use the Amazon Echo system, possibly allowing cameras to view camera feeds from the Echo show screen. We don't need more tracking from Amazon. We really don't. All right. How about this one? Asia Pie's an idiot. I don't think that's news, but basically, since broadband standards are just not working right, he has a wonderful plan. We're just going to lower the standards from 25 to 10. That way, more people have access to it. Here's the problem. If you watch the video once again from Brian Lunduke, the why the internet sucks one or something, it's a month or two ago, what you see in there is that websites are taking more and more and more data, memory, and everything. Especially if you're not running ad blockers and on mobile devices. The internet sucks on mobile devices simply because of all the ads. You block out ads. Like this phone here, I've just been doing some basic testing. This phone here on Tor accesses the internet faster than this phone here. Because this one, the Android phone, has a host file that blocks all of that ad crap from trying to download first. The iPhone doesn't have that, and so it's downloading all sorts of crap in the background. And what's going on, though, is that websites are becoming increasingly more system heavy. Increasingly more broadband is needed. And so, no, we don't need to lower it from 25 to 10. We need to raise it from 25 to 50. So, yeah, Asia Pie's an idiot. In fact, he pulled this from another situation occurred that this play was pulled from. Play was pulled from a playbook. Remember back in, was it 1999 or whatever, when, oh my God, 25% of the nation is obese. All that happened is the government changed the definition of obese. Prior to that, if you were my age and older, then you remember going to school and you had those annoying calipers that you'd have to go in and you'd measure the amount of, you'd literally pinch your skin up here, you'd measure it, you'd pinch your skin on your side, you'd measure that, you'd pinch your skin a couple other places, and you'd measure all that, and that would give you a percent body fat composition. And healthy, unhealthy was determined on the percent body fat composition based upon the height and the weight. The problem is they're like, that's too complicated. And so they switched it from looking at the fat to height weight ratios to BMI, which is merely a height and weight. The problem is a bodybuilder's BMI is very high as well. And so they show up as being obese on the scales. Okay, and so what happened is in 1999, they shifted the definition, and that's why all of a sudden in 1999, 25% of America was obese. No, that didn't happen. All that happened is in 1999, the definition of obese changed. Because BMI is a lot less accurate than taking calipers and measuring your body fat in various places. Well, that's the thing Asia Pie is trying to do here. He's like, we can't seem to get this going, and the cable companies are all a monopoly, so broadband's not getting any better. In fact, it's apparently getting worse, and blah, blah, blah. And then, I got it. We're going to lower the standard from 25 to 10. That's going to solve all our problems. No, it's just going to cause the whole world to go to crap. Because, guess what? Websites are taking more and more data. More and more streaming services. Like everybody and their brothers got streaming services. Streaming services don't work on 10 Mbps very well. Okay? Trust me, I've tried it. So yes, Asia Pie's lost his ever-loving mind yet again. Oh, that was nothing new, but anyway. We're going to go ahead and kick that article. All right. Blender's UI looks like it was artistically designed by a coder. Yep, indeed. I don't mind it, though, actually, because, well, I haven't used 3ds Max, and Blender's free and open source, and no need to use anything else. It works. Advertisers are also using GPS to target ads. Yes. Tom's involved in it as well. Yes. How about the custom-built phone that is built specifically for the Windows? Anyone out there that are not hundreds of dollars? Yeah, the problem with the Librem phone is it starts at like $600. I don't pay $600 for smartphones. Now, this Nexus 5G... Hunt for deals, people. This cost me $200. Hunt for deals. I'd start by starting at the Lineage OS main webpage. Look through their list of devices and everything on there that you think you can tolerate. Go hunt for on Craigslist. And then there's a website that shows you if a phone is stolen. Cross-reference it across that. Okay. Yes. Ultimate W3C betrayal. For your map, openstreetmap.org. I guess I'd have to do that as a website, but I won't mind doing that. Writing that one down. Okay. Why do they even have to make ineffective the thing called DRM? They do not trust us or something. Yeah, and the problem is the DRM only hurts the legal people. It doesn't hurt the pirates at all. Can't believe DRM is actually being implemented as a standard. Yep. Greetings from Mexico. Greetings there, Mexico. How's it going? Yay, Foundry is good. It will destroy the internet freedom. Yes, it will. And the internet's fundamentally against the internet, but if you look at everybody who wrote the standard, they're all internet companies, so go figure. They want Netflix so that Netflix US and Netflix UK can run completely different programming. There's no Uber in Italy in favor of taxi drivers. That's good. That will just mean it'll be easier for DRM to find ways to crack be easier for people to find ways to crack DRM. Probably. It's just another one of the elitist last attempts to keep control. Yep, they're failing. Computing Forever made a video saying the internet is so bad with political censorship and tracking, he claimed the entire internet infrastructure will have to be rebuilt. I think I saw that video. Yeah, and no. It's that's actually it's getting worse. It really is getting worse, especially since we as a nation don't go to websites anymore. We go to search engines, and search engines usually means Google, and Google is starting to censor things they don't like. And so, unfortunately, Start Page, because it uses Google's algorithm, will be affected by this. DuckDuckGo might be one of the places to go. Would somebody over there at DuckDuckGo fix your UI? Your UI sucks. Fix your UI and I'll use you. Just trying to find more ways to track us. Yep. The internet needs to be decentralized so companies cannot control what users do. Yep. See you, Daniel. When I go to grocery shopping, I want to go in, find it, grab it, pay, and get out. Yes, that is right. You know Computing Forever? Yes, Computing. I do watch. I watch Computing Forever a few times a week. He's a little off the walls sometimes, but has some really good stuff over there as well. We need more build mesh networks and bypass the internet. Okay. Anna Rita, groceries. We say shopping. I love American vocabulary. Actually, Anna Rita, that was Canada, so. He makes political videos, but also makes tech videos every once in a while. Yep. Why does everything need Wi-Fi or Bluetooth? Yeah. I thought it was interesting when I got a first it was an iPod. It was a creative MP3 player. It's like, ooh, this thing can connect to the internet. Connect to the internet. What do you do with it? The one I have now is just, literally the best thing to do now is just get the cheapy ones. I have a SanDisk MP3 player. It's 8 megabyte internal storage with an extendable SD card. I think I paid $30 for it. And it's probably the best MP3 player I've ever had. In fact, I use it for a couple hours almost every single night. I think I charge it once a month. It is a really good device from SanDisk. Good thing we have blockchain to decentralize the internet. Yep. See ya, Chater. There's a social media company known as Gab AI that is trying to decentralize social media platforms run on a blockchain. Yeah, I think they're trying to decentralize because they're kind of becoming a cesspool of stupidity over there, though, unfortunately. Many sites are full of heavy JavaScripts. Yes, I agree, and it's annoying. Why? There are several. We'll talk about it hopefully next stream. Tom, Red Falcon Run, available on a lot of Linux operating systems. Last I checked, I think you had to use Chrome. The thing is it's based on Flash. I think you can do practice mode on any Linux. You need Flash installed, some form of Flash installed. I think for the competition mode, I think you needed Chrome installed for that because Chrome had Flash embedded in it. I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure Chromium did not work. Firefox might work at this point in time because they've done a lot to put a lot of that stuff into the system, and so Firefox might work as well. Last I knew, you had to install Google Chrome to compete on Red Falcon Run on Linux. Practice you can still use. It just has to do with the versions of Flash required for the different modes. Never had solutions. Let's see. Greetings, George. How are you? Hey, Technobismal. Just despite Asia Pie and all these marketing firms. Yeah. Oh, I just despise them. Yes. Piggy must be really sick. Aw, bummer. Well, I hope he gets better. In 10th grade and actually talk to my friends in real life instead of through social media platforms. Good for you. Keep that up. Okay, Rockin' the Alien. Who does pay Asia and people like him to do that? I'm pretty sure it's just the ISPs. And he used to work for Verizon, so wouldn't surprise me that. Tonight we'll pray for Piggy for me. Yes, I will do that tonight. Yes. And let me know how he's doing. Okay, sorry. Okay. My 28-inch waistline and my 40-inch chest, I'm fat. I don't eat fried foods. I eat veggies and organic. I hike naturally consistent. Take my vitamins. Get plenty of exercise. Yes. Yeah, if you step on a scale that calculates BMI and it says your BMI is over as like 24, 23, 24 or something, then yep, you're fat. You're done. You're obese. So yes, that is a huge problem in it. All right. There's DuckDuckGo. I agree with Thomas Bland. Yep. Hey, Maverick, how's it going? Amazon used those glasses to grab information about marketing. Probably. All right, we have one okay then article. This is just funny because I'm just getting so hammered by these spammers day in and day out. Yes, a telemarketer called my elevator. Okay, so apparently a guy was sitting on an elevator. You know, some elevators have those elevator phones. So apparently someone's sitting there on the elevator, blah, 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 elevator, 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 blah, 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 elevator, elevator. And then their phone rings. You're on the elevator. Hello? You have won a brand new vacation. Okay, then. So, yeah, I mean, at this point in time, we really need to deal with this. I'll tell you, my plan, hey, it's the best thing to do. Completely get rid of any ability to spoof a call. I know there's legitimate reasons, but the mass quantity of illegitimate reasons for blocking a call way outweighs any legitimate uses. It needs to be banned globally. No more spoofed phone calls. That's going to end all the spammer stuff because we'll be able to track down everybody real fast. Spammers need to get clubbed horribly. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up with a few final comments. Internet infrastructure needs decentralized. Duck, duck, no. All right. Well, once again, next week, Lord willing, we are going to do 2 different live streams. One on this Switch to Linux channel and one immediately following that on the Christian channel, where I will be reading excerpts from the brand new book. And we'll talk about that, and hopefully I have all of my infrastructure set up, and I will most likely, because I probably will not get my next proof copy in until like Wednesday. So I will not actually have a stock of books in-house to ship, but I will set up pre-ordering at that time. And I should expect to see books coming in either the following Monday or Tuesday. And that'll just make an evening of shipping out books to anybody. I will probably only ship U.S., maybe U.S., Canada, as far as shipping books directly here. And I should be able to turn on the ability for anybody worldwide to purchase a copy of the ebook. So we're going to try that. I think that that's what we're going to do for there. Book release hopefully next week. So we probably will not do the news unless there's anything really shocking out there. We'll kind of skip out on that, and then we'll just kind of go on and go on from there. So let me know if there's anything else. Also, save any of those self-publishing type questions. Save those up and ask me next week on a live stream. If you know you can't make it, send those to me an email and or as a message on that, or maybe a comment on this, and I will attempt to answer those as well. So thanks, guys. We'll go ahead and end this with feeding a kitty. Let me. The kitty knows what's coming. In fact, let me switch over to the kitty cam over there, and you can actually see that since I wrap up the screen, he gets that Maslow's Law thing. He's staring me down right now. He's looking right at me. Centralization only allows someone to control people. Yes. Amazon run a lot of the internet. Amazon AWS. Yes. Including a lot of NSA. Question is, what can we do to rebuild the infrastructure? We may not be able to. I don't know. Can you sign the book? Yes. If you order it directly from me and I ship it, I will sign it. All right. Well, let's go ahead and end this up. Oh, he knows what's coming. He knows what's coming. There you go. Have a good night, all.